Good morning and welcome back to 10-Minute English Cafe. It is Monday, July 20th, 2026.
Good morning! The bakery line moved so slowly that I planned half my week before reaching the counter.
Did the plan make Monday feel more manageable?
For 3 minutes. Then I reached Tuesday and decided I needed another coffee.
Then let us give the week a clearer shape. Today's stories all ask where one thing ends and another begins.
What kinds of lines are we crossing this morning? First, Vogue is treating an ultra-minimal hiking-style sandal as a summer fashion idea. My toes already feel exposed, but my closet wants to see the outfit.
Next, Culdcept BEGINS mixes a board game with card battles in an all-new Switch entry.
My coffee table may need a border before the cards and snacks start competing for land.
Finally, England plans limits on selling certain high-caffeine drinks to people under 16, but the measure is not in force yet.
That timing matters. A planned sales restriction is different from a ban already in force.
Here, global news becomes natural, everyday English conversation for listening and shadowing in 10 minutes a day. Subscribe to practice daily.
3 clear stories, 1 relaxed cafe chat, and no heavy textbook on the table.
Today's keyword is boundary.
Monday needs a few of those before my to-do list takes over the whole week.
Exactly. A boundary can be a physical line or the point where one category or condition changes.
Then the sugar bowl is our boundary. No work notes are allowed on my side of the sugar bowl.
Vogue presents thin-soled hiking-style sandals with narrow cords as a 2026 summer fashion idea. That editorial view is not a market ranking or trail performance claim. My feet feel exposed just hearing that. I would study the outfit in my closet mirror before stepping outside. The wider trend is barely there footwear, while Vogue's narrower angle brings outdoor styling into the fashion conversation. So my closet sees a sandal, but the styling wants me to imagine an adventure. Exactly. The interesting boundary is between outdoor looking gear and fashion, not a promise about what the shoe can do. I need that distinction. If a label says hiking, part of me expects the shoe to handle an actual trail. That expectation is understandable, but a fashion feature cannot answer questions about safety, support, or hiking ability. Then I can judge the look at the cafe without pretending I have reviewed it on a mountain. One example is a collaboration between Zero Shoes and Literary Sport with a thin sole and adjustable leather cords. Adjustable cords sound useful for styling, but I would still spend 10 minutes making both feet look even. Symmetry is your Monday project. This example does not prove one brand leads the market. Good. My closet does not need a winner. It needs something that works with shorts without looking like jewelry for my ankles. Other fashion coverage also shows a broader interest in shoes that reveal more of the foot. That's where I hesitate. A nearly bare foot can look light and modern, but it can also feel unfinished to me. That tension is part of the appeal. Sporty and practical references meet a very reduced, delicate shape. I like the contrast, though my own feet get the final vote after the headline and the mirror. That's a sensible boundary. Fashion coverage can suggest a look without answering every practical question. A cafe outfit photo and a real hiking route ask very different things from a sandal. So Vogue frames this ultra-minimal style as summer fashion within a wider, barely there trend. I can enjoy that idea and keep my actual hiking decisions in a separate box. Culdcept BEGINS is an all-new board game and card battle entry for Switch and Switch 2. Digital editions launched July 16th. European and North American physical editions are planned for September 17th.
My game shelf hears 2 dates and immediately opens the calendar. I would hate to wait at a store for an edition that is not there yet.
In play, you roll dice, move around a board, Claim land and use a deck of cards for creatures, spells, and items.
That sounds like my coffee table needs marked territory before the board, cards, and snack bowls arrive.
The game has more than 400 cards, a single-player campaign, and online play.
More than 400? I would spend my first evening organizing a deck and forget that the board exists.
That would be very on-brand for you. One system supports one local player, while online play supports up to 4.
Then an online game night may suit my friends better than asking everyone to crowd around one screen.
Yes, and Nintendo Switch Online is required for that online play.
I would check that before sending invitations. Nothing cools a group chat faster than surprise setup homework.
Another important label is All New Entry. This is a new game in the series, not a remake of an earlier title. That makes the word begins feel honest. It's starting a fresh match, not repainting an old board. And the genre boundary is part of its identity. Board movement decides where you go, while the card deck shapes what you can do there. I like that mix. Dice can ruin my plan, but a card in my hand lets me feel prepared for 5 seconds. Claiming land adds another boundary because spaces on the board become part of the competition. So even before the first snack break, I could be protecting imaginary property from my nicest friend. Digital has been available since July 16th. European and North American physical editions remain planned for September 17th. Digital players can begin now, while collectors like me may circle the later date and clear shelf space. Exactly. A digital buyer and a physical collector need different dates. My calendar is clear now. My snack territory is still under negotiation. England plans to ban drinks with more than 150 milligrams per liter to anyone under 16 from April 2027, but the measure is not in force and still needs parliamentary approval.
I would reread that sign at checkout. A plan for next year is different from a rule that applies today.
The plan would cover shops, vending machines, and consumer websites. Tea and coffee are excluded.
So the boundary would follow me from a store shelf to a vending machine and even into an online cart.
Right, and it applies to drinks above the caffeine threshold, not every product called an energy drink.
That means I would need the label, not just the bright can design, to know which side it falls on.
Exactly. The wording is more than 150 milligrams per liter, not 150 or more.
One tiny word changes the line. At a checkout, that difference cannot be replaced by a guess.
Retailers would be responsible for following the restriction, and local authorities would enforce it.
That sounds clearer than leaving one tired cashier to invent the whole system during an afternoon rush.
Together, the proposal sets 4 boundaries: age, caffeine concentration, sales channels, and planned timing.
I appreciate that. 4 clear conditions tell me more than a dramatic label would.
The government presents the plan as a way to protect children's health, but the legal step still depends on Parliament. Then the calendar has a boundary too. Announcement now, possible start in April 2027 after approval. Yes, until those steps happen, saying the sales ban is already active would be wrong. I would explain it to a friend as a proposal with a date, not a rule they can see at stores today. The regional boundary matters as well. This proposal is for England, not a statement about the entire United Kingdom. So I should not turn one place name into a bigger map just because it sounds simpler. So 4 details stay together. England, under 16, more than 150 milligrams per liter, pending approval for April 2027.
That is more careful than a dramatic headline and much more useful when someone reaches the checkout.
We separated a fashion pick from trail performance, a new game from a remake, and a planned England rule from an active ban.
The line helped only when we named exactly what was on each side.
Today's keyword fits. A boundary separates categories or conditions without making the facts bigger.
It also works on Monday. My calendar needs a boundary between work I can finish and work that can wait.
Which boundary in today's stories feels most reasonable to you, and why?
I choose fashion versus performance. I can like the sandal without treating a magazine pic as hiking advice.
I choose the proposed sales line because its age, caffeine level, place, and pending legal step are clear.
Your answer arrives with a checklist. Mine arrives with a closet mirror.
Tell us your boundary and your reason in the comments. A short personal example is welcome too.
Any language is totally fine, and even just an emoji works.
If you enjoyed today's chat, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Goodbye for now, and we will be back tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Keep your facts inside the right boundary and your snacks on your side of the game board.